Hey y'all, it's cold outside. That's not stopping me from making cookies. So I've been wanting to make these snowball cookies. So I've got my oven preheating to 325. I need 2 cups of chopped pecans. And I believe that when you use nuts, it's best to roast them first. So while my oven's preheating, I've got my pecans in the oven roasting. Just, maybe 5 or 10 minutes before I chop them up. So my pecans are done. Some people call these cookies that I'm gonna make, I call them snowball cookies. Some people call them wedding cookies, Mexican wedding cookies. Some people call them Russian tea cakes. Some people call them, shortbread. Whatever they are, they're delicious. So this recipe calls for 2 cups of chopped pecans. Again, I think you can use any nut, but again, my suggestion is roast your nuts before you chop them. It calls for 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1 cup of butter. And I'm using real butter, and it's room temperature softened. 1/4 cup of sugar, and a teaspoon of vanilla, 1/2 cup of powdered sugar. Now the recipe will be in the description box. If you don't know how to get to the description box, all you have to do is click on the title of this video, and when you click on the title, it will bring up a box. You'll even see the word more at the bottom. Click on more and you'll see the whole description box, which will have anything that I mentioned. It'll have some previous videos that people like, and it'll have this recipe. So the first thing I'm gonna do is just unwrap my butter, drop it in my mixer. This is softened butter. It's been sitting out all day. It is real butter. I don't know if that makes a difference or not. I only use salted butter, and even if it calls for unsalted, I use salted. Next, we're gonna add our granulated sugar, and we're just gonna cream this until it's creamy and good. Looks good. So right now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my pecans in a bowl, add the flour and the salt. 2 cups of pecans, 2 cups of all-purpose flour. I'll add just a smidgen more because I didn't measure that great. And about a teaspoon of salt. We're gonna set this aside. Well, we're gonna stir it first, and then we're gonna set it aside. Now I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon of vanilla to my butter and sugar mixture. Now I'm gonna add my flour, salt, and nut mixture to the butter and sugar and vanilla mixture. And I'm gonna beat it on low. I probably beat that butter maybe 3 minutes, I guess. I'm just guessing. That's about half of it, and I'm gonna turn it on and get it started. I've added the other half, and now I'm gonna mix it some more. Okay, you only mix this till the dough has come together. So I'm gonna beat down the sides, get it all together. So the next thing to do is you scoop out your cookies on an ungreased cookie sheet. You can use parchment paper, and it says to use a 1 tablespoon. I don't even know what this is. I just bought it not too long ago. Wow, Miranda was right. This cookie scooper is a game changer. I've always wanted one and just picked one up the other day at Walmart. It is great. I really like it. She told us when she made the date balls And if you haven't saw that video, I'll put a link in the description box. But she said it was a game changer, and she's right. Now, these cookies, these snowball cookies, whatever you call them yourself, we call them snowball cookies. They do not have a leavening agent in them. Therefore, that means they will not rise. They will not spread out like a sugar cookie or a chocolate chip cookie. They're going to stay in the ball form. That means that you can put them closer together on the ungreased cookie sheet. Sweet Hunter, come look at these.
Wow.
Look at how the cookie scooper made a difference.
Perfect.
And then I'll take them and roll them up, but it makes them the perfect size. That's pretty good, isn't it?
That's great. I believe that'll work.
I believe it will too. What are you doing?
Folding clothes.
Folding clothes. All right. Well, somebody's got to do it, right?
Exactly.
That's a pretty good man to be folding clothes, isn't it? All right. All I'm going to do is take these and just make them round. That's all I'm doing. Again, you can put these close together because they're not gonna rise. All right, so here they are, ready to go in the oven. Now, at this point, if you don't have time to put them in the oven and cook them right then, you can stick these in the refrigerator. You can freeze these just like this and pop them out and thaw them out and cook them. I'm gonna put them in the oven. Okay, it took mine about 18 minutes in a 325 oven. And what you want, these are a soft cookie. I hope you can see this. It's hot. I don't know if I can get it up or not. They're kind of fragile when they first come out of the oven. But you want them just a little bit brown on the bottom, kind of like that. So very little brown. And they're real fragile. So we're gonna let them sit for 5 minutes before we do anything with them. Now we're gonna get our powdered sugar ready, and it calls for half of a cup. That's not gonna do it for me. I can just go ahead and tell you. That will not do it. So I roll mine twice. Once after they've sat for 5 minutes while they're still kind of warm, and then once before I serve them. Y'all, while I'm waiting on my cookies to sit for 5 minutes, I wanted to show you 2 gifts that I've got in the mail. This is one I got in the mail. I'm sorry, I didn't get both of them in the mail. This is a flour sack kitchen towel. It's a 30 by 30. I have not opened it. This is from my sweet friend Charlene. And just to give you a little background, when I had chemo, if it hadn't been for that woman, she lives far away from me, but every day just about I received something in the mail that encouraged me, gave me hope. And she's like me. She loves to be in the kitchen. She's what I want to grow up and be like. She has canned 2,000 cans of food this year. Unbelievable. I remember one time when I heard that she was in the hospital. I think this was before I got sick. It might have been afterwards. But anyway, she knew she was having surgery. She fixed food for all her family because where they could stay at the hospital. So in individual containers, they had their food at the hospital. She's an amazing woman, and I'm proud to call her my friend, Charlene Butler. Our neighbors Sue and Joe gave us this, and he just came to the door and we heard him out there. And I was baking these cookies, in fact, and brought this, Devotions from the Lake, and they wrote inside of it, and it means so much to me. We have the best neighbors ever, but this meant a lot to me. So thank you, Sue. Okay, y'all, we are gonna do these cookies. Remember, these cookies are soft, they're fragile. I do want to show you one where you can see the bottom. This is what they look like. This is what the bottom will look like when they're done. It's just a little brown, and they are very fragile. Now you want to roll them in confectionate sugar when they're still warm. But remember, you don't want any more done than this. So I'm gonna just gently toss this in the powdered sugar while it's still warm and set it over into another pan. So each one I'll just toss in the powdered sugar. One coat, one good coat. And we're gonna do it again when they completely cool off. These cookies are like a bite of heaven. Of course, you put any confectionate sugar on anything, I believe it's a bite from heaven. These are so good. I think I'm gonna have to make another batch because I want to have plenty. Now, make sure you don't leave these sitting too long to roll them the first time because you want them a little bit warm where it will stick to it good. And this is just the first coat. Like I said, I do 2 coats. I do one while it's like this, 5 minutes out of the oven, and then one after they cool. You can also do it just right before you serve it or right before you package it up. Nope, that one broke. Might have to be mine. I don't drink coffee, so y'all don't think that. But I think I'm gonna take Sweet Hunter, these cookies, and a cup of decaf coffee. So y'all, I took him his cookies. If I got some in my mouth, I'll eat one too. They're very fragile cookies. They're like little tea cakes. So you have to eat them like ladylike. Evidently he manhandled one and it exploded. But I wanted to show you what it looked like. This is with the second coat on it. They are so good. If you haven't made any, you need to try them. They are delicious. I had to cut the video off because we were laughing so hard at me with confectionate sugar all over my mouth and him with it all over his shirt. And now he knows how to eat a snowball cookie or a wedding cookie. So they're delicious, I'm telling you. I do not have these dipped again, but I'm fixing to, and I'm gonna store them. You also can freeze them just like this, but I will tell you, I would just do the first coat of powdered sugar on it and not do the second coat until they're thawed, and then do it right before you serve it. Flash freeze them. Again, they are fragile cookies. They are delicious. Snowball cookies, wedding cookies, Russian tea cakes. Can't remember what else. A little piece of heaven, I'm telling you. Y'all go cook something.
Hey, sweet mama, you got any more of those good cookies?
I sure do. Here's your whole plate full.